Okay, hi guys. Just giving you an update on the GSX-R750 project. As you can see, I've got the frame now cleaned. Done a little bit of painting. I've taken this out, put it back in, painted it up, so it's looking good. The frame is clean now. All the oil and grease is gone. I've repolished these because they were polished before, so they're all polished up. They're just temporarily put back on. The swing arm has been completely pulled apart, redone and painted. It's just, this paint's called aluminium, and these weren't polished on this particular bike. Battery tray's been refurbished, taken out, painted and put back in. As you can see, there's the rubber for the chain to run on, and that one's been polished as well. Oh, this one also, as they wear and they get older, they get a lot of movement this way. Like, that's not a lot of movement because there's one bolt goes through there, holds that on. But that, I don't know if you can see that, but that little washer there, I actually made it. That's a return spring. I put new bolts on here, which is your drag bolt, so if they hit the ground. Yeah, so that I made on the lathe. It's just like a packer. As I said, as they wear a bit, you need to. There was a washer in there, but it was half that thickness, so I've just made it a bit thicker and put it in. It's also aluminium, so it will wear again, which is what you want. You don't want this main shaft to wear. You want the little washer to wear, so you can replace it. So that's what we're at the moment. Forks are sitting here. Another one is that these weren't polished from the factory. I don't know if you can see that, but this here, it's like a casting mark. They're not actually polished, and they never were. I guess they built these, to do a job type thing. It wasn't Suzuki's policy to polish them up. And you could do, and it makes them look pretty, but I really wanted to try and keep it a genuine bike and not just polish things for the sake of polishing them. So that's where we are so far, which I'm really happy with because it hasn't taken too long. I've only been on it 3 days. It took a whole day just to clean the frame. It was pretty gungy. They get a lot of oil or shaving lube and stuff, so in here all that there was just covered with black gunk. And it's just from where the chain would sit about here, the front cog. So you can imagine it just flicks up here. All this was all plastered. All down here was all just plastered. Yeah, man, it's 88, so I guess over that period of time, you can't get in there unless you pull it apart. So there we go, that's what we're up to. The old wheel's sitting here now. I've got to take the bearings out, but once I do that, we can get the tyres off them, and then we'll prep them and get them ready for either powder coating, or I'll paint them in 2-pack with a hardener. Depends. A mate of mine's got someone he knows that works at a powder coater, so we're going to look at that option as well. Okay, we'll catch you later. Hi guys, a bit of an update. This is part of the nitty-gritty side of doing up bikes, I suppose. These are bottom of the carburetors, and before I start, they look like this. Sometimes you can see out of there they're a bit grungy. So basically, I've had to strip. And all the carburetors at the moment are sitting in here. So that's the carby upside down. You're looking at all the float bowls there. So they're just sitting there, having a bath in degreaser. And then we'll get them out and do these. So basically, I've worked out a little trick to these. When you sandblast things, they go that, you can see in the light there, they sort of go a dull colour. And you really want to give them back that sort of natural shine. And the way that I do that is with this brush. This is a a brass feathered or brass brush, and all it does is it just gives them a little light polish and just takes that harshness of the sandblaster out. So that's what I'm doing. So there's all the internals, because before we have to pull them all apart. So there's your diaphragms. I number them, so that one there, you can see that, number 4, and they're all numbered, and I keep the needles and seats in the spot they come out. The caps don't really matter, but these certainly do. There's another one, it's number 3. So that they do matter to go back in the same hole they come out of. So that's what I'm doing at the moment. It's tedious, but you know, if you want to do it properly, clean. The carbies were really dirty inside, I must say. Look at that. You can see in there, it's all grungy. That's just over the years, stale fuel probably from time to time. So we'll get all that cleaned out, make them all pretty, and then when I start doing something like this, which is the carburetors, I don't leave them, so I'll keep working on these until they're back together, and then I'll put the whole assembly back on a bench somewhere, and then I want to start on this because I've got a lot of cleaning there. Now most of that is chain splatter, so the engine itself is quite clean for a bike that's never been pulled down. There's inlets. And this is as far as I'm going to strip the motor down. So it won't get pulled down any further than this, having the carbies taken off of it. Still got the plugs in it. So there's the front of it. Doesn't have an oil cooler on it, oil filter on it at the moment. And the oil cooler lines, which are here and here, they're plugged up. I've plugged them all up. So we'll try and keep foreign bodies out. And that's about it at the moment. So yeah, it's just a tedious job doing the carburetors, but I know they're done, and then I'll feel happy and safe when I'm on the road with them, that they won't let me down. Okay, talk to you later, bye. Okay, here we are again. This is the other part of the carburetor. This is the main part, obviously. There's all your float bowls down there. This has all been cleaned now. It's been soaking for a while, taken out, pressure washed, and all cleaned back up. I'll check everything. I've got new rubbers, more like gasket seals to put in. So that's all good to go now. So I'll start reassembling them, putting in a couple of little bits and pieces that they need, and then we'll move on to the next job. Hi guys, I want to clean the engine, and I want to use a pressure washer on it. So what I've done, I've made these on my lathe, and I made them to fit in the ports. So now I'll just push each one of them in like that. And then a little bit straighter. So like that, and that one there needs a little bit more of it. There we go. And I'll just screw them up, and that stops any water from being able to get in the head. It's a bit of a hassle, you know, it took me 20 minutes to make them, but it's worth it. I can probably use them on other bikes, anything that has these size carbs, which is sort of, the hole's fairly universal. And if I have to, I can always put a bit of a rag around the outside and then push them in on a slightly bigger one. So yeah. If anyone wants to borrow them after, give me a call and you can borrow them. But they're just good if you want to clean your engine down. Now no crap can get in there at all. Alright, cool. See ya. Hi guys, I wasn't going to, but I figured that I probably should. What I'm going to do is make up a set of those things I did for the back. I'll do them for the front, but I've got to do them a bit different because there's no way of clamping them. So what I'll do is I'll make them slightly smaller than the hole. There's a recess sort of gap here. I'll make them slightly smaller, and then I'll put, like for instance, if that was going to go in there, and I'll cut a groove on the end of it, and I'll put a rubber grommet, rubber seal, and then I can just push them in and they'll stay there, and I'll just drill a little hole, put a screw in there so I can grab them and pull them back out. So that's what I'll go and do, and then I can just go to town on it, and I can soak it all over and it won't hurt it, and I can spray stuff on it, but do whatever I want. So that's what I'm going to go and do. Okay, I hope you can see that. These ones, that's still hot from before. This stuff, I go to my local aluminium guy and they have like offcuts and big scrap pieces. It says it's an just wait for the compressor to stop. Okay, this stuff says that it's a 2250, but that could be a job number, so I don't know what it is. I know it's like concrete to cut through. I've got to keep lubrication on it all the time, otherwise it just destroys it. Now, I'm not sure. I've got a dirty lathe here because of that last job. I'm not sure if that's going to be enough, but we'll have a look. We'll fire it up and we'll see. Might trim it down first before I go ahead and try and cut it. So I might have to cut it. I may have to cut it in my drop saw before I try and part it off, because it's a really big chunk. It's as hard as billios, this stuff. And hopefully it won't have too much shake on the because that's sitting on. I've got you sitting on the drill vertical drill, or horizontal drill. This is run number 2, and I can see that it's shiny all the way around this time. I know that I've gone deep enough, and then I'll measure back up and see how much more I've got to take off. Hi guys, have a look at this. Doesn't happen very often. While I was off camera doing some more of this, it bit in, and it actually took the tip clean off my bit. I've probably only ever seen that once before. That's how hard that aluminium is. Yeah, cool. Okay guys, I am about to put the V in, or a cut in. So I'm going to put it in, it's still warm that. I'm going to put a cut, just a little V in there, and that will then allow me to put this over the top, and that will sit over the top in that little V, and then when I go back to the exhaust recess, I can just push them in on a rubber, and that will seal them all the way around, and when I'm finished I can just pop them back out. Okay, so I'll do a V. We might be able to just keep it rolling. Okay, that's pretty much as simple as it is, and then that will roll around there, and that locks on, and it just acts, I could probably go a little bit deeper, and then it just acts like what it is. Basically it's a seal. So I might just make it a little bit deeper. It's just hard trying to hold the camera and keep an eye on what I'm doing, but that's what I'm doing, and I'm going to make 4 of those and press them in. Okay.